the Holgo era or anything like that. It's been forever. 1.8 million people in the state. The school is lucky to get 2 to 3 contributors from the state each year, and yet every year, West Virginia is a top 25, top 30 program. The most winningest school of all time among schools that don't have national championships. Always relevant, and that just says so much about the program. So what I think happens in West Virginia is when they're down, they're ignored. But if they can click, and you saw it with Pat White, you saw it with Rasheed Marshall, you certainly saw it with Major and to a certain extent with the Mark Bulger years, when they click, there's something about it that works and it catches people's eye. And like I said, maybe it's the branding or the colors or the explosive offense that's been a part of West Virginia football for decades, or the physical defense, whatever it is. It's all or nothing for the ears, and right now it's starting to look like it's becoming all. It's starting like the offense is exciting. There's running backs and wide receivers all over the field making plays. The defense is unique and different looking, and there's great personalities on the sidelines on the coaching staff. So when things really start to click for the Mountaineers, people start to pay attention and enjoy it. And you see it in TV ratings. There's no reason for the Mountaineers to be the national TV draw that they are. But every year it happens. It happens in their bowl games, and it happens on their big night games. I mean, I remember in 2012 when West Virginia went down to Texas with that great Geno Smith team, they set Texas's attendance record was set that night to see West Virginia play. I mean, Texas has hosted everyone. Everyone has played at Texas, and the record for attendance was broken for West Virginia. There's something about the Mountaineers. It's a program that everyone really can, should, and is proud of. So when things start to get rolling, people do start to take notice. Sometimes it takes longer than it does for, Notre Dame goes 2-0 in their top 10. West Virginia, you probably got to get to 5-0, 6-0 before people start to take notice. But you're right, people are taking notice. The first one I saw was Tim Brando. Yep. He had them top 10. He had them top 10 in the country within the last few weeks. People are starting to notice. It's exciting. It's fun to be around the program right now. There's lots of good to talk about. And you're absolutely right. It's fun to see them part of this conversation again.
Speaking as one of those guys, and it's kind of rare to see an opposing coach say something like this, but Gary Patterson off ABC line on this game, West Virginia about 4.5. Gary Patterson saying, "I tell you this much, I love it there. The fans are fanatical about their team. They love the game of football. It's just a fun place to go play. I like going there. It's one of those things where you like going places where they truly do hate you." That's such an awesome thing for opposing coach to say.
Absolutely, and look, this I'm sure your listeners, I'm sure many of them, most of them have been to a game there. This is not a product that I need to sell because it's already been bought. There's very few places. I've been very lucky. I've been all around the country. I've been in Death Valley and LSU, seen games down there. All the Big East schools, all the Big 12 schools. I've been all over, and West Virginia. We're bringing a whole bunch of guys down affiliated with the show, bringing the whole crew. Many of them it's their first time in Morgantown, so I can't wait. And it's fun knowing I'm heading down there with 9 guys. Most of them have never been there before, and it's fun having the confidence that they will not be let down. It is going to be rocking, and the only hope is that the game ends with singing Country Roads. I hope they get to experience that.
First thing, you speak of those other stadiums. I lived in Columbus for a while. I went to the Shoe, and I was expecting something just extraordinary, 100,000 people. And I almost offended, like, everybody I was with. I was like, this is it? Because I'm so used to Mountaineer, being at a Mountaineer game, and they're just like, what? And I'm like, this is just nothing. I mean, I felt horrible saying that at the Shoe.
I'm with you completely. I was recently having a conversation with someone, and they said to me that, they get everywhere. There's so much to see in this great country of ours. Go see an SEC game. Go see a Pac-12 game. Go see the Grand Canyon. Go see the Washington Monument. Go see it all. But there's plenty of places to see. And yes, if you fall behind and the Skylar Howard is forced to drop back and stretch the field, then yeah, those athletic defensive linemen and those linebackers they have are about 210 pounds across the board. If you allow them to run and get after the passer, they're going to be in trouble. But if the Mountaineers can get control of this game, or at least not allow TCU to get control of it. That they can even share control. If they can stay true to the running game, that offensive line is going to be beating up this athletic, which is a positive way of saying small, defensive front. They're going to be able to run all over them, and I expect them to do that. Now, the Mountaineers will run all over everyone all year, and that doesn't mean necessarily that they're going to win all year, but they're just good enough to do that, and they will continue to do that. But the point is, with this TCU defense, if you do not allow them to just pin their ears back and get after the passer, if you force them to tackle in space, force them to stop the run, load the box, they're not going to be able to compete with turnover prone. And with the way that Tony's playing this year, playing that defense, where he's bringing less pressure than you've seen. Matt Graham, co-host, made a great point on today's show. You know, people are concerned about Noble and Christian Brown and Darian Howard. Where's these big plays? The big plays is that those three are consistently eating up 5 blockers. I mean, what you think David Long is going to burst on this scene if he's forced to fight off guards and centers all the time? These guys are holding up entire offensive lines, allowing the back 8 to make plays all over the field. They're tackling in space. They are attacking the ball. What I expect to see is Kenny Hill forced to throw the ball into traffic over and over again. TCU wants to be fast. They will be fast. They're going to run a lot of plays, but I don't see a ton of success for them in the passing game. I'm frankly not a big Kenny Hill fan. 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I cannot imagine what the narrative would be around Skylar Howard if he had 8 interceptions at this point in the season. I mean, he has 4 interceptions. 2 of them aren't his fault, and he gets a little bit of heat for it. Can you imagine if he had double that? So, I'm not buying it. The Mountaineers are the better team. They're the more physical team. They're the stronger team. They're the more versatile team, and they're the home team. I'm confident in Tony Gibson and Dana Holgerson on any Saturday against any of these coaching staffs that they will have their team as ready, if not more ready than their opponent, and I see this Saturday going really well for the Mountaineers.
He's Jeff Passes, host of Blue Gold Tailgate Show. Man, we always appreciate you on this show, and I need to get back on your show soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll set something up. What do you say next week? We'll do it.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
All right. We'll be in touch.
All right, dude. All right, Jeff Passes, host of Blue Gold Tailgate Show. Love the honesty, too, on the Big 12 expansion. He's right. It was a waste of everybody's time and taxpayers' dollars. You know, that was a good point. State schools, that's taxpayer dollars, folks. Big 12 just treat it like it was a tip at Sizzlers. All right, let's take a break. You can call the show 304-344-9704. Take us to the go at 95thesportsbox.com, TuneIn app, and rsnsports.com. You can watch us at both sites and listen to the show at both sites. When we come back, I will tell you where the men's basketball team, WU men's basketball team, landed in the preseason coaches poll, as well as Roger Goodell on the NFL ratings drop. Back after the short break, Brandon Lowe Show, 95 The Sports Box.
You're listening to The Brandon Lowe Show on 95 The Sports Fox. Be a part of the show. Let the Valley hear your opinion.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Or the top sports stories locally or nationally on The Brandon Lowe Show. Call 304-344-9704.
Brad Keselowski, then Kyle Busch.
You're going to see these 12 guys really step it up.
The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup is on the Motor Racing Network.
If there's anything that can happen.
Jimmy Johnson gets nailed, and it's a big one. 1 car upside down, 2 cars in the wall. 4 drivers eliminated this Sunday in Talladega.
It's an intense race.
The Alabama 500.
Brad scores his 4th win.
Sunday afternoon at 1 on the Voice of NASCAR.
Listen live right here on 90fox.com.
Have to get their quarterback of the future because Roethlisberger is 34. He's starting to get dinged up on a regular basis.
It's Jason Smith. Nights at 10 on 95 The Sports Fox. The Ben Maller Show.
I know I can't do it like Ben do it.
Ben Maller.
When anything goes slightly haywire in Foxborough, what is the story? It's up, the Patriots are cheating. Well, Bill Belichick, he's having issues with the technology, the tablet in this case. There's no question the NFL, the buffoons who make these decisions, they went for the money.
The Ben Maller Show. Overnight on 95 The Sports Fox.
Let's bring in our first guest on today's show. You may know this guy, Stephen Bailey. When the story broke about everything that happened with the drive-by, what'd you learn about yourself going through the process of trying to heal and get yourself back to health?
I was devastated. The only thing I could really think about outside of my family was my career. That I'll do whatever it is that I can or that I need to do to get myself back into physical shape where I can, get back on the football field.
Listen to The Brandon Lowe Show weeknights at 5 on 95 The Sports Fox.
Follow the show on Twitter at WBES Brandon Lowe. You can also listen to The Brandon Lowe Show on your TuneIn app or at 95thesportsfox.com. Now, back to The Brandon Lowe Show on 95 The Sports Fox.
Again, want to thank Jeff Haas, this Blue Gold Tailgate Show host. Hopefully we can set up something, be on his show next week. He has a great show over there, man. I had a great time when I was on his show last time. They do a great job. Like I said, his co-host over there, Matt Gramps, he does a great job too. Love those guys over there. Just released today, West Virginia University men's basketball team will start the 2016-17 season nationally ranked. Mountaineers came in at number 18 in the USA Today preseason coaches poll. Was released today, like I said. W was picked by Big 12 coaches to finish second in the conference behind Kansas, of course. Jayhawks, who beat WVU in last season's Big 12 tournament title game, were ranked number 2 in the national rankings. Duke in this poll's preseason number 1, followed by the Jayhawks, number 3 to Villanova, number 4 Kentucky, and number 5 Oregon. Now remember, Oregon had a great team last year. Whenever we were doing all that NCAA bracket stuff, which I hope we still have Greg Peterson, those guys. We probably will when the basketball season kicks in. But I love that we're getting this much love out the gate with our basketball program. I really do. I love it. Number 18 nationally to start the year, picked number 2 in the preseason poll by the coaches. You could just we talk about Holgorsen, the job he's done with the Mountaineers and the football program, and he's really come in his own as a head coach and offensive play caller. But what Huggins has done, and I know Huggins is a Hall of Fame coach, and I know that Huggins is in the Big 12 and he's got a brand behind him, but if you think about it, going from Big East to Big 12 in basketball, honestly for me, that was a downgrade. Going from the Big East Conference in basketball, not football, basketball. Big East, the old Big East, essentially helped ESPN become who they are today. That's how big the Big East was. It was a huge conference, huge league. A lot of stars, a lot of national championships, a lot of great games, a lot of great tournament games. But the things that he also had to essentially relearn how to recruit in a different conference. You have to recruit differently when you play in different conferences. Some conferences are more about the big guy. Some conferences are more about the guard play. He had to figure out how the Big 12 is set up and recruit in that way and go outside of what he normally recruits and then set up a press, which is now known as Press Virginia, and just wreak havoc and recruit to that type of style of basketball. The things that Huggins has done, that's why he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's just a mastermind of what he does. What is it? What we say, Nick, and what everybody says? If you don't adapt, you die. Exactly. And that's exactly what he's done. And he's gotten his program to the point, and his recruiting has gotten so good that now he's starting the season. And we're talking about a team that no longer has Jayshawn Page, John Holden, and Devin Williams. They're gone, folks. But the recruiting, the kids he had from last year, guys coming back, and he's gotten plenty of minutes out of those guys coming back this year that are now upperclassmen. Great stuff. Love it, man. Real quick, Roger Goodell in the NFL trying to understand drop in ratings. Goodell said it's important not just to get viewers tuned in, but also get them to stay tuned into game broadcasts. Goodell said neither he nor the league's broadcast partners believe player protests and national anthem have played a role in the drop. He did note a relative lack of competitive games in primetime in contentious presidential election debate schedule as partial explanations. Yeah, he pointed out the obvious. This is one of the biggest presidential races in the history of this country. So that'll take away ratings. But he is right. Prime time, I got to be honest, folks. I haven't been very impressed with the NFL at all this year. I'm not really an NFL guy anyway, so it's hard to get me impressed. When I get excited, playoff time rolls around, that's when I get excited because every game matters from here on out. Then you start getting excited for the Super Bowl. You don't have to be a football fan to understand how big the Super Bowl is. And you can end up staggering into a Super Bowl party and not know who's playing. You're just there for the brew and to say, hey, who's got the most points? You're there for the Super Bowl show, halftime show. So he is right. And I think the protesting have actually brought in more viewers. Because you think about it, just like anything else that's controversial, like politics, because we talked about this, sports and politics. Even if you're on one side or the other, you're still going to watch to see there, and so you can sit on your couch and go, look at, he's not doing what I believe in. Or you're going to be the other guy. Oh, that's right, stand up for what you believe in. But either way, you're watching. So I think that's better for the league. Because that's bringing in conversation, that's bringing in viewers. People want to watch and see what's going on in the NFL, the landscape of the NFL with all this political stuff. Anything that involves politics, entertainment, sports all in one, like the NFL is right now, that's more ratings than dropping out. I think the big thing is, like tonight, Bears and Packers. Is it really a big game? The Bears are 1-5, the Packers are 3-2. Aaron Rodgers is struggling. I would say no. You get what I'm saying here? And I can't remember what the Monday night game is. I don't have the schedule in front of me. But it's not a big-time game. In Green Bay, Wisconsin. What's the, let's go down through here. Yeah, Texans and Broncos, that's right. Another horrible game. Two mediocre quarterbacks. Texas defense is falling apart. That's going to be a 13-10 game, folks. You're going to be asleep by halftime. That's the problem. All right. Regain myself here. Let's get a little laugh. All right, let's get to our Let's Get Weird news.
Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
News. The creepy clown scare has some real clowns frightened. Clowns say they're losing paying gigs at parties or other events because of scary clown rumors. Many of the supposed creepy clown reports have turned out to be social media hoaxes. Cyrus Sevilla is a New York City hospital administrator who also performs professionally as Sido the Clown. Wow. He says he's worried about getting jumped when he goes out wearing his clown costume. World Clown Association President, this is real, folks. World Clown Association President Randy Christensen has this advice for his fellow clowns. He says, show them what good entertainment is. Show them what a caring clown does. I mean, I don't know what to say about this stuff anymore. Other than this.
Hey, kids, I'm a clown.
Kids, it's me. I bet you thought that I was dead. But when I fell over, I just broke my leg and got a hemorrhage in my head.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
News. Computer blue. Be safe out there. It's raining.
Watch for clowns.
Yes. Watch for clowns. I want to thank Jeff Postis and Steve Cobb for coming on the show today. Tomorrow's Friday. Plenty of high school football stuff. We'll wrap up. We'll get you ready for the weekend of football. It's going to be fun, folks. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Brandon Lowe Show, 95 to Sports Fox. Good night.
In your face, Charlie Murphy. Good.